Can you talk more about the relationship between Russia and China?
This is the quintessential question. There used to be a triangular relationship. I know because my portfolio was Sino-Soviet relations way back 5 decades ago, okay? They were at loggerheads then. They hated each other. We thought they'd hate each other forever and ever and ever. They had irredenta. China was claiming 1.5 million square kilometers of Russian territory. They were shooting at each other across the border, okay? Now, we reported that looked very real and looked like maybe somebody could take advantage of that. Kissinger and Nixon did precisely that. So there was this triangular relationship, and Nixon went to China. Whoa, what did that do? That made the Russians very, very worried. They didn't want the Chinese to develop cordial relationships with the United States before they did. They don't want to be outmatched, okay? And so I, as chief of the Soviet Foreign Policy Branch in those days, watched the Russians have more flexibility, more give, more willingness to compromise. And you know what happened? The 4-power agreement on Berlin happened. That's what happened, okay? Never happened before. And more important even, the anti-ballistic missile treaty was signed in Moscow in May 1972. I had the privilege of being there. I was so elated because I knew that would be the bedrock of strategic stability. Call it the balance of terror, if you will, but at least it would be stable. And it was for 30 years, 30, count them, 30, until W. Bush says, well, let's get out of there. And they got out of it. To the consternation of the Russians, what did the US have in mind by getting out of the ABM treaty? Well, no answer. Then Trump, in his last year, gets out of the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty. My God. Well, the Russians, what did the Russians get by way of explanation? Nothing. None of your business. Well, then they saw these little sites disguised as ABM sites going in on their periphery, okay? And then they saw that the capsules, as they call them, are exactly the same diameter as those that would accommodate cruise missiles and eventually hypersonic missiles when the US gets them.